And we're back, segment 2. We're back in a not very sexy, but it's got teeth segment. That is a redoubtable one. Thomas J is a high question one. Andre Miliaccio. It's IDD for those who don't disagree on the Man Up Monday.
Not very sexy, but it's got teeth.
It's got teeth. Not sexy, but it's got teeth.
Makes me think of the landlord from Kingpin. Ugh.
He's neither.
No, talk about the woman. Remember when she was like, blah, blah, blah. Remember that disgusting landlord that used to make him bang her for rent? You don't remember that?
In Ace Ventura?
I said Kingpin.
Oh, Kingpin. Oh, yeah, that pig. Yeah, she was.
Oh,
she was.
God.
Yeah.
No, she was not sexy, but she might have had teeth.
And Roy Munson, the definition of shameless clown.
Oh, God.
Between him and Big Earn, too shameless motherfucker.
There she is.
She's the devil. That is the devil in disguise.
Oh, man.
Actually, that's not really disguising anything. Right. No, I can't.
Look at her with the cigarette.
No!
And the yellow teeth.
The yellow teeth.
Remember when he walks into his apartment, he asks the guy. He asked the guy on the porch. He's like, "How's life?" And he goes, "Taking forever." He's like, "I think
there. If there was a picture of ugly, it'd be her.
Oof,
ugly, just ugly, just ugly."
Well, another day gone by, and Pete Alonso's still not signed. God damn it!
But anyway, we're not here to talk about the ongoing, issues with the Mets front office or Pete Alonso's dumbass agent.
Yeah, exactly.
It is Super Bowl week, as you know. We are 6 days from the big game. A game I am adamant about not watching because I just hate both of these teams. But. It is a rematch from 2 years ago. That was a thriller in Manila.
It was a thriller.
It came down to another questionable call. No surprise there.
Little tug.
Little
James Bradbury tug.
It wasn't a single leg takedown. It was a little tug.
No, it was questionable. It probably was a holding. But in that game, had they really made those calls much?
This was the problem. If they were doing that,
you brought that up.
If they were calling it like that all game, I'd have been fine. They let him play until they didn't let him play. And my argument then,
I had no argument with it.
And my argument then, as it stands now, is that you cannot ask a player who's been playing a certain style for 58 minutes because you let both teams do it to suddenly downshift and think to himself, okay, they're going to call it tight now. It's the Super Bowl. So. By the letter of the law, was it holding? Yeah. Had they called it for 50? No, on either side, which I was okay with because you're being consistent, but that wasn't consistent. So I was talking to Joel today, and look, we were texting back and forth a little bit about the game. He brought up the Garrett thing, and he asked me about the Patriots. Would they go after him? And I said no, and that led into the Super Bowl. Look, Philly is the better team here. I'll be very clear. I've been saying this every week.
They were the better team 2 years ago.
Yeah, and they were. And their offense is better now, and they put up 30. This is my point to Joel. They put up 35 on these guys 2 years ago, so they couldn't stop them. They put up 35 with a turnover, okay? So KC did not stop this offense. Now you've got to deal with Saquon Barkley, who, talk about I know he doesn't want to hear this, but this guy would give anything to be where he is right now, and he's earned every bit of it because he's the reason they're here, let's be honest. He's the main reason they're here. So the Chiefs have a problem. They have a real problem. If they couldn't stop this offense 2 years ago, and now you've got to deal with Saquon Barkley, I don't understand what this defensive coordinator is going to do that's going to slow this team down. This will come down to two things, in my opinion. But I want to hear what I want to give me three keys here on either side. In my opinion, at least as we sit here on Monday night, it's two things. It's penalties and turnovers. If they don't turn the ball over and the refs don't get in the way, Philly wins. Probably, to his point, by 10 points to 2 touchdowns. However, one of those two things is probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not betting on turnovers. So anyway, but this is where Tom gets to give me his first look. You've seen these two teams. You know one of them very well. I know you're disgusted with the GM for letting the Giants deserve it. If Philly wins this, the GM of the Giants should get the MVP award. But
it goes beyond that. It's just our lack of drafting over the last 4, 5, 10 years, and Philly's just, man, everybody they pick hits. Their defensive line is unreal with Georgia studs. Their secondary is great.
KC is a 1.5-point favorite.
Which boggles my mind.
This is why I keep saying something.
So here's my thing about
how
KC.
is they a 1.5 over this?
So
deep
KC
offense?
has to be able to play single man coverage on the outside.
On those two guys?
Yes, they have to.
And the tight end, who's also
yes,
not
they have to be able to do that.
Not happening.
So they can afford help
7
to
in the box.
Saquon.
Yeah,
they've got to be able to do that.
yeah.
And
this game will be in a dome. Weather will not be a factor here.
and he, yeah, that's true.
It's in New Orleans. This will not. There will not be a weather issue here.
So I think that's a major key for them. They've got to be able to do that. I can't remember last time we talked about this. You were talking about putting a certain number of people just like all the way up on.
We
the
call
line.
it 6'2" stack monkey. It's a term from the movie All the Right Moves. Tom Cruise, Leah Thompson in her prime. Sean Penn plays the linebacker. And Craig T. Nelson as the disgruntled head coach.
Coach?
Yeah, who came up with the game plan for Walnut Heights, who had a John Riggins-like running back, and they were third in the state ranked in Pennsylvania football, which is king. It's one of the best states in the country. And, I might add, this dude was like a John Riggins, so he's like, look, we only got one chance here. We're going to put 6 defensive linemen at the line of scrimmage, hat on a hat on a hat. Mm-hmm. And when he comes up, there's going to be nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And now, the difference would be because Walnut Heights didn't have a Travis Kelce running around or a Worthy, that kid Xavier Worthy, who runs like a 4.2. My suggestion is the 6'2" stack monkey with 6 defensive linemen and 5 defensive backs.
Do you play zone or do you play man?
You play man, and one of those. See, here's the thing.
The only tough part about the man is Hurts can take off if
this is why you play 5. Well, this is the thing. You've got to have a guy that can spy him. A cornerback is quicker than a linebacker.
Yeah.
You've got to be good in your tackling, which KC generally is. They're well coached.
They're a strong defense.
They're a strong defense. They're good tackling. You've got to play. If they play their base defense,
they're going to
get run over.
Yeah.
They should get run over.
But they're smarter than that.
6'2" stack monkey. Again, 2 of those guys are defensive ends. They're edge rushers, and you got 4 fatties in the middle. Just 4 330-pound beat. It's like a goal line deal almost, but you've got 5 defensive backs running around out there.
Okay, so here's another key for KC. And basically, I'm telling you how KC can win, because that's all I want to think about.
Sure.
Okay, you can take Philly.
I know, because you want KC to win.
Yeah, because I want KC to win.
History.
Well, I root for Mahomes. The Giants stink. I don't hate him.
Mahomes flopped on national.
He did.
TV.
I didn't like that at all, and I said that.
Mahomes' wife is a fucking bitch. She doesn't shut up enough. She's a fucking. She did it again the other day. Did you hear what she fucking said after the other game? Bitching to the fucking fans, like.
No.
Well, yeah, she was bitching to the Buffalo fans, like, why are you bitching at them? Your husband gets every 50-50 call.
Yeah, just stop.
And after the calls he got against the Texans, you got nothing to say.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing they can do. If somehow they can come out, maybe they get a 3-and-out, they score, they get a sack on Hurts. If they can go up quick on Philly and shake Sirianni a little bit.
Not hard to do, by the way.
And then
Sirianni, there is one drastic advantage here. It's the coaching.
Yeah, well, although, I don't know. I mean, Sirianni's held it together this year.
He has the most talented roster.
Without a doubt.
In this league.
But they're playing like it. And but my thing
he hasn't crashed.
He hasn't crashed it.
Okay.
Now,
you want to say that? That's fair.
And my thing is this though: if you can get up on them and shake, once they get a lead, they're really tough to fuck with.
Philly has the firepower.
I mean, it's sure they.
If Philly has to throw, they can throw.
I know, but you'd rather them be in the position where they have to throw.
Casey has to play with a lead here.
Right.
I agree with you because if they have to play catch up and they have to abandon and run
really
again,
tough.
and Philly's able to pin their ears back, you're right. They have to get.
And then on offense, Philly can really just go here, Saquon, fucking run them over. And that offensive line, once they start digging in, A quick start by KC,
Sure.
pretty key, I think.
I agree with that. I do, and I think if they score first, it's got to be a touchdown. A field goal won't finish Philly. It's got to be 7.
Yeah, you got to.
Get
I'm talking
seven.
like
this,
14.
This is the type of situation where field goals ain't going to come.
Right. And Washington proved that last week.
Yeah. You're not going to beat Philly with
Don't
field
do
goals.
it. If you have a chance,
you have to
go for the kill.
Yeah. So I agree with all of that.
They're too high powered, and their defense is that good too.
The other thing I would say, because I don't think 6-2 stack monkey is a realistic possibility, because I don't know if Spags has even seen the movie. But what you can also do, and this is what will probably happen, is they will disguise what looks like a coverage and they will run blitz. They will run blitz because they will have to.
Yeah.
They have to bring one more than you can block. They will have to run blitz. Philly, the head coach, and whoever these guys are, they have to and again, this is where the chess match.
Yeah.
Because this is what Spagnuolo is very good at this, and he learned it from Belichick. Belichick was very good at disguising what they were.
Spagnuolo was with Belichick?
No, he watched all the tapes. He talks about, he would look at his Super Bowl like against the Rams. He has that tape of how they shut down that Rams offense. Both of them. The greatest show on turf and then the second one. He is all of Belichick's greatest hits. The K-gun offense in Buffalo when they held in the 19. He has all of them. He has taken every cue from Bill Belichick, and the first thing is disguising what you're doing on defense. You're showing one thing, but it's not really what you're doing. Yeah. Okay? And this is where the chess match comes into play. Now, if I'm them, in lieu of 6-2 stack monkey, I am showing what looks like pass coverage on first down and like maybe my base nickel, but that's not what it's going to be. Wherever the tight end rolls to, Philly tends to go to the strong side. I'm going to run blitz to that side and send one more than they can block. Because if they don't do that, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. If Saquon can take 4 steps, like you really have to hit him early.
You got to get him before he can square.
You got to touch him. Yeah.
And you saw it against the Commanders. The second he was able to square his shoulders to the line of scrimmage, and
he gets going,
he's gone. Yeah, he'll make 2 guys.
And the other thing he was doing, he was being patient, waiting for the defenders to come inside.
Yeah, he would get them to over pursue, and he sets his blocks up very well.
He does.
He's a very I don't think he got enough credit for that in New York. Probably because the line wasn't nearly as good.
The line wasn't even. The line was turnstiles.
But still, he was very good at setting up his blocks.
Right. But see, in New York, he was making a man miss before he got back to the line.
Barry. He was Barry Sanders. That was Barry in Detroit.
And that's not really his style.
No.
But he was that good, he could do it.
So I agree with that. But again, if I'm KC, the realistic scenario is they're disguising a scheme and they're going to run blitz out of it and try and get them in 3rd and long where they can spy Hurts. And both teams, by the way, are going to have to do this because both quarterbacks can run.
Yeah.
In
a similar way, like neither one of them just runs all the time.
No, they're both smart. They run when they have to run. Although Philly has more design runs.
That's true.
KC had design runs, though, last week versus Buffalo. They did.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Every time they needed a short.
They did. They gave Buffalo a dose of their... They gave Buffalo a taste of their own medicine. I would be wise, if I was Philly, to spy him with a cornerback, not a linebacker. He'll juke and jive a linebacker. You need someone who can run him down.
Well, what kept happening is... they would have the back running out ahead of him. Yeah. And they'd make the defender choose, okay, come get me, and I'd dump it. Or go cover that guy and I'd take off.
This is where the spy comes into play.
Yeah.
Because if you have a spy out there, he's just got him, and there's someone covering the back. It's 11 on 11, America.
Right.
You've got to have that guy, especially in the Super Bowl where he's going to run. I can guarantee you this. Mahomes is going to try to run.
Yeah.
He's going to try to, because that's how he got past Buffalo. He's going to try to run and extend these drives. And it's always going to be on 3rd and 5 or longer. I will guarantee you he's going to run probably 5-6 times. He's going to try to. So Philly has to spy him with a cornerback, a defensive back, a safety, somebody who can stay with him. Not a linebacker. He'll outrun a linebacker. You need a cornerback. You need to go dime package in that scenario. And you've got to take Travis Kelce. I was telling this to Joel. You've got to take Travis Kelce out of the middle of the field because he runs the scramble drill with Mahomes the same way Edelman used to run it with Brady.
Yeah, they just know where they're going.
Every time, this is the reason why the Patriots were so good, because Brady and Edelman and Gronk to a lesser extent, but before, it was Welker before, then it was Troy Brown. Brady always had a guy like this who, on third down, when everything broke down, the scramble play, and Edelman was always in the right spot. Travis Kelce is always in the right spot because they have this thing. So,
you see that?
Ooh, well. Speaking of football, Cooper Kupp. Rams are trying to trade him. I wonder to whom. Look, that's the problem.
Yeah.
He can play.
It's just tough to count on him.
Yeah. What are you giving up? So, and there's Myles Garrett, the guy who plays when he wants to play. He's very talented, but sometimes he's great, sometimes he's there.
I mean, he can wreck a game.
He won a Defensive Player of the Year last year. But see, he's getting older too. He's 8 years. What is he?
God, he looks like a superhero.
He looks like Strahan.
No.
Yeah, that's Strahan.
Dude, that's more comic book than Strahan.
Strahan was pretty comic book. So I agree with you on all that. That's defensively
pretty standard stuff.
Well, the run. How do you defend that running game?
Yeah, that's not easy.
Like I said, this is the key to the whole game. To me, if they can't stop the run,
they're done.
They can't. Philly they'd have to get a turnover. They have to get at least one. They have to get an extra possession somewhere. So
the tackling, like you said, is key.
They don't have a tackling problem,
right? And
that's not their issue.
Here's the thing about Saquon: if Saquon gets 120 yards, but he doesn't have a 40 to 50 yard breakaway touchdown, that is a major win for KC.
I don't see him doing that against them because they tackle too well.
Well, that's big.
They're probably, if I had to rank them, because they were ranked in the top 5 in defense.
Yeah, I was going to say they're top 5.
I would say as a tackling team, I think they're the best tackling defense in the league.
Well, that's major.
I'll be shocked if he busts a 60-yarder on these guys.
Because that's the other one.
I mean, he can still get 120 and score. I don't see one of these 55 off the tackle and bust it. And no, because 3 guys aren't going to miss.
Those are the backbreakers. Yeah. Like, what happened in Washington last week? Oh, here's a 10-minute drive. We kick a field goal. 1-play drive, 60-yard touchdown.
KC,
that is a backbreaker.
I will tell you this. If that does happen, KC's fucked.
They're done.
They're fucked. But I would be shocked if it did.
You can't allow those big plays.
They're too well coached on the back end. They put you on the ground. You don't see a lot of yak. Not since the Patriots. Yeah. The last team that really would get them after the catch was the Patriots. They really would. Brady would hit Edelman, and that would turn a 10-yard play into a 30-yard. Yeah. Since them, no team's really done that to them. Not consistently.
Yeah, if they can find a way to suppress those plays.
The key is they've got to stop or contain Saquon Barkley, and they've got to get off the field on third down.
Yeah.
You have to. If Philly is
tough with that team, because if they get to 4th and 1, they go for it.
Well, that tush push is still that tush push.
Yeah.
And Philly is going to go for it on 4th and 1. I will tell you that right now. Everybody knows that's coming. But this is the thing. Buffalo did this too. Now, Buffalo isn't as good at it as Philly is, to be fair. But they did have a 6'5" quarterback.
The strength of the Chiefs' defense is that D-line, man.
Yeah.
If anybody has a chance to stop a tush push, it's them. Yeah. I still don't think they can stop the tush push against Philly.
Philly's offense.
They just do it so well.
Yeah. I never thought. Well, again, Saquon Barkley is what made this possible because they don't run as many up the gut. A lot of it's off tackle because he's that dude.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't have to run as many straight ahead as before.
He can bounce.
Because he can literally, to his point, take one guy and he misses and boom, it's 40, it's 50, it's 60, it's 70, whatever it is. So, yeah, Casey has to put him on the ground.
Yep.
4 or 5 yards max down. Offensively, they're going to have to score 30.
Oh yeah.
They're not going to beat Philly 20-17. That's not. They're going to have to put up points. Now, if they put up 32 last week, but did you know that last week was the first time all year that they broke 30?
Get out of here.
Yeah. First time.
Wow.
I said they weren't the same team. They're here because of their defense. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes did not make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
He had 26 touchdowns and 11 picks.
It
was a good year. It
but
wasn't
for him, average. I mean, like
26-11.
for him, it's a down year. I'd say.
But they kept finding ways to win.
Yeah.
Okay, and Philly again. If they don't, I just don't know how this is going to happen. I mean, I know how it's going to happen. I just don't know how it's going to happen. Okay, my thing is...
So you think Philly's going to blow it?
I think the refs are going to do it. And it's going to be a 50-50 call. It's going to be in the fourth quarter of a tight game. It's going to extend a drive. And it's going to happen like it always happens. Philly, to your point, Philly has to be 10 points up in the fourth quarter. If they're not...
Well, you know what they always used to say in boxing? Championship fight.
Yeah, knock them out.
You can't go to a decision.
You have to be up 10 points in the fourth quarter. Now, Philly is fully capable of doing that.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. But you have to get them where they have to be one-dimensional in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
If you can do that, then the refs won't matter. But if it's a one-score game in the fourth quarter, I don't know when, I don't know how, but I can tell you it's going to happen. And again, here's the other thing. And we talked about this, and I'll say it again. I said this to Joel. The KC offensive line does not have a single holding penalty in their last 3 Super Bowl appearances. That is fucking ridiculous.
I hope that holds up.
That is fucking ridiculous. I can news you. If it happens again with that front four, you know the fix is in. You know the fix is in because there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way it should have happened 3 times in a row.
Here's my hope, okay? Because my sister, who lives in Philly and is now a Eagles fan.
Now he's going to make it personal.
Okay, it's always personal.
Your sister.
Okay. She's
Can't be happy for your sister.
She's sending Casey Saquon Barkley memes.
Oh, that's wrong.
I mean, what are you sending that shit to Casey for?
That's wrong.
Okay, so my hope,
With that?
my undying hope at this point, okay?
That's not Saquon's fault, though.
I didn't say it was Saquon.
You can't blame Saquon.
None of this is about the players.
He's been a great-
It's their fans. Their fans suck. Okay?
Starting with my sister.
Well, no, she's not the worst of them.
She's sending Saquon mimes to your wife.
But here's the thing.
That's pretty
She's not
bad.
a real fan. Okay?
That's even worse.
Exactly. But anyway.
Now I know Casey's going to win.
Look,
now I know
my
Casey's
sister has
gonna
been
win.
in Philly for 20 years, but I mean, so here's the thing.
But you don't do that to you.
Right, because what does Casey give a shit? Casey showed me this and she's like, "Did you see what Mel sent me?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" My undying hope is that Saquon has a big fumble to lose the game.
Oh.
So that I can take a video of it and send it out to Joel and Melanie and say, "Once a giant, always a giant."
Yeah, see,
That's what I want.
The other problem is that
That's what I want.
There's the Joel Russell factor here,
There it
who's
is.
already had too good of a year.
Right. He already got Ohio State.
Ohio State. That was bullshit.
He doesn't need
He
it.
doesn't need it. I don't. The Joe Russell factor is real. I mean, 2 years ago we sat here on this show, and we were trying to figure out how KC loses this game, and they
how they won it.
How Philly would lose
Right.
it. We were like, we all picked Philly to win,
Yeah, because
and they found a fucking way to lose it.
it didn't make sense that Philly
no.
wouldn't win that game.
No, it doesn't make sense now that they won't win it, which is why they'll lose it. The Joe Russell effect is real. And now he's walked it back. At least in our, he was very adamant Philly should win this. He's not adamant this time. He knows. He's learned his lesson.
Well, no. Remember that time he didn't feel good. He was nervous. Remember?
We were laughing at him. Were you
Because
crazy?
you and I were like, "What are you talking about?" They got the best D line of all
Well, we
time.
said they had it. Well, they didn't get a single sack.
I know.
How the
Shit
fuck
themselves.
Well, the coordinator wet himself. That guy got left.
That was a loaf. That was a trophy loaf.
That was a trophy loafy.
That was the absolute pinnacle of trophy.
That was a
loafies.
trophy loafy before trophy loafies were a thing.
That's right.
He was a trendsetter.
They actually loafed in the bowl,
Yeah.
in the cup of the Super Bowl trophy. They
That
loafed
was
in
a
it.
serious loaf. And again, there's that no holding call on the greatest front line ever in terms of not one hold. Okay.
Maybe that's why they didn't have a sack.
I'm saying not one hold against that team. Something's on there. Something's on. So, the hope is that, for me anyway, is that Goodell and the whole league is if you look at all the chat boards, everybody's saying the same fucking thing. How are the refs going to win it this time? The hope is that Goodell.
Look, I hope they win it.
The hope is that Goodell grabs that crew and goes, look it. Let them decide. Just let them decide. Because honestly, if this happens again,
I'll be happy.
Everybody outside of KC will be calling for the head of this will get ugly.
Giants
It's
fans.
ugly now.
Giants fans will be
It's
fine with
ugly
it.
now. If KC wins this on a call again, one of this, Goodell might get assassinated. Something might happen to him. Might be a car bomb.
It would be such poetic justice if Saquon, about to go into the end zone, fumbles through the end zone.
But you don't blame Saquon Barkley for this.
No.
Okay.
No, it's just the fans, and it's every time he comes up having to talk about it.
Here's my only issue with this. I understand you, given what I didn't know about his sister. To be fair, I could see you going. I hope the coach, which is entirely plot that the Philly coach, who's kind of a donkey sometimes, that he wets himself and blows this. That would be. I understand that. You hoping Saquon is the reason? He doesn't deserve it.
No, it's not about. I don't want it for Saquon.
But it would hurt. It would affect him.
Well, that's fine. He's
No!
an Eagle now.
He didn't want to be an Eagle.
Yes, he
Your
did.
GM is.
He wanted to be an Eagle.
No,
That's why he's there.
He wanted to be a
Could've went
Giant.
anywhere.
They offered him the money.
Yeah, he could have gotten it somewhere else.
Jerry wasn't going to give it to him.
We offered him the money 2 years before that. He said no to us. He took what we offered him 2 years before that.
Thought it was more.
Dude, we offered him $13 million a year 2 years prior to that. He took 13 and a half.
Let me ask you a question.
He took 13 and a half to go to our arch rival.
Let me ask you a question. Was he worth it?
He was worth more.
More.
But he didn't get that much more. He got 13 and a half a year.
Maybe he left out of spite because he's like, you know what? You didn't think I'm worth 15.
Right.
Fuck
So
you.
he wanted to be an Eagle. I hope you fumble.
Clearly he was right.
I hope you fumble in the
Clearly he was right.
I know, and I hope he fumbles in the Super Bowl.
He could be league MVP this year.
He should be.
He actually should be, if we're being honest. I know Joe Burrow.
Dude, he's a great player.
They're in the Super Bowl.
And he was a great Giant.
He was. I'm saying.
But I hope he fumbles in the Super Bowl and it costs him the game, so that I can send that. Because oh my God, for the past 6 fucking months, every time they show a highlight of Saquon Barkley, they show a highlight of our dumbass GM. Okay, and everybody goes, "God damn, they're dumb." Fucking Giants are so fucking dumb. And I just want to go.
That was Saquon bending over your GM.
Hey, Saquon.
Going, I'm sending you, the GM, to a federal pound me in the ass person, and I'm going to pound you every week.
Then the owner comes in and says, "Oh man, I'm not going to sleep if Saquon goes to the Eagles."
See, why did the owner override?
So then, because he's an idiot. So then.
There's 2 idiots.
Because after doing that,
because to your point,
he gives the guy another year.
Didn't he kind of come in like, tell me if I'm reading this wrong. In that video, he kind of comes in like, are you really? Like, wasn't he trying to talk about it?
GM laughs at him.
Yeah, like.
Then this seison happens, and that same owner goes, "Yeah, you can have another year."
Yeah, I mean, I would have.
Give you another year.
I would have. And I got to assume somebody in your fan base did this. I would have sent him that video. Every week.
Well, it was on ESPN every week.
He's laughing at you.
Dude, okay.
You're the owner. You're the owner. He is laughing at you in the tape.
So here's the thing. Then Saquon does a commercial for some kind of fucking sleep thing and says, "Oh, I hear you're not sleeping well at night. Try, some nasal strips."
What, to the GM?
Not to the GM. He does a commercial. He just says it. In the commercial, the line is, "Oh, I heard you haven't been sleeping well. Try whatever." Okay. So that's why. Kiss my ass. I hope
he wasn't doing it to you.
He was doing it to the Giants.
He was doing it to the GM.
No, he was doing it to the owner. The owner was the one that said.
You just said the owner was an idiot, right?
Yes.
So doesn't he deserve that?
Well, but the owner was the one that said, "I'm going to lose sleep if he goes to the Eagles." And in the commercial, "Oh, I hear you're losing sleep." Then today, at Super Bowl media, Jameis Winston goes, "Who should sign me next year?" Saquon. He goes, "I hear the Giants need a quarterback." It's a little too much shit talking, Say. I hope you fumble. I hope you fumble in the Super Bowl.
But you know what, though?
And it costs you
Saquon has a reason to be bitter.
I understand. But so do I.
No, you don't, because you know what? You would have paid him.
No, I have a reason to be bitter.
If you were the GM of that team,
sucks.
You said you thought he was worth more than what they were offering.
He was worth $20 million a year.
Okay.
We've talked about
You
it.
know why you're mad? Because you would have paid him.
I don't know. At the time,
You're mad. I think. Is it possible? I'm not saying I'm right. Let me ask you a question. Is it possible that your anger is a bit misdirected right now?
no.
It's not. It's
No.
not.
No, because
it's
I
not-
know who I'm mad at.
You can't blame Saquon Barkley for shoving it in their face because he wanted to stay there and they didn't think he was worth it.
I understand. But now when he sticks it back, it's in all of our faces. Whether he intends it to be that way or not.
Maybe he's trying to egg you on into firing these
He's
guys.
he's on our arch enemy.
I mean, it's fireable. Let's be honest.
he should have been fired.
It's fireable.
He should have been
The
fired.
fact that on the tape he just brushes off the owner like is it you don't know what the fuck you're talking. The way he did that, like that was
Then this dumbass.
that was so fucking
then he
arrogant. Like,
asked-
who are you to be that arrogant? What the fuck have you ever done?
Then he asked his 7-year-old kid, "What should I do in the draft?" Kid says, "Draft Jaden Daniels." He laughed.
He laughed at him.
Well, I mean, first of all, he couldn't get him.
We couldn't get him.
He couldn't get him, so it was moot. But his kid knew more about the fucking draft than him, probably.
Well, they're picking third, right? They're picking third.
Who gives a shit? He sucks. He's probably going to make the wrong pick. He's going to make the... Why would I have faith in this
I'm
guy?
going to be here again a year from now.
Yeah, and we're all going to be going, the owner's an idiot. Because you let this regime stay...
You know, the problem with this guy's arrogance, besides the fact he's not that good, you know, and Robert Kraft doesn't get enough credit for this. He put up with Belichick's arrogance for a long time. A long time.
Yeah.
But Belichick earned that.
Well, yeah, I mean, 6 titles.
I'm saying this guy is acting like he's got 6 titles. He's got one playoff win.
He's got one playoff
One
win.
playoff
By the
win.
skin of his balls.
Yeah, against Minnesota and that proverbial choker, Kirk Cousins.
This guy, it was so funny when one of his like assistants goes, "So if we trade Saquon, what's our offense going to be next year?" And he goes, "This is Daniel's year. We're not paying Daniel $40 million a year to hand the ball off to a $20 million running back." Oh, well. First of all, Saquon didn't get $20 million a year. You could have given him 15 and probably kept him. And then you wouldn't have had to waste money on Drew Lock's dumbass that never played. He was a $5 million backup quarterback who, when Daniel Jones left the team, you didn't even start. You started Danny fucking Dorito. And then
Fucking idiot.
Giddy little fucking
That was awful.
Goomba
What a fucking
extraordinaire.
What a shit show that was.
Then you sign Devin Singletary to $3 million. You barely use him all year. Down goes Larry again.
Oh my God! You didn't see little
Man,
Larry.
his giant head's gonna snap.
This is not going to last.
No,
we gotta get him down here with
dude,
Joe.
we need to put him on a
Get him
platform.
down here with Joe Boo somewhere.
But it's like, why doesn't he come on a
Hold
platform?
on. That
Oh, that's good. He's leaning.
He's leaning.
That's
Larry,
nice.
Larry and Joe Boo together.
Now he's in the mix
All
too.
right, sorry, little Larry.
And why are we talking about the dumbass Giants? Oh, that's right.
Saquon Barkley
Barkley in the Super Bowl, and it's no offense to him, but it is offense to him.
It's 'cause of
You're
your
an Eagle.
sister.
No, you're an Eagle now.
Tell the truth. Your
Take
sister
it.
is the tipping point.
She
here.
started it.
If she wasn't doing this, I don't think you'd be saying this right now.
No, there's still a little bit of me that would. just because, like, I know, Philly fans. Every time I see a Philly fan, oh, thanks for Saquon Barkley. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I didn't give him to you.
Yeah.
Thanks for Saquon.
You act like I made the call. Like,
Thanks for Saquon, man. It got nothing to do with the bullshit.
No.
Same way you don't have anything to do with your bullshit.
no, I mean, look, every Giant fan has every right to burn this motherfucker in effigy. I mean, and not
GM.
the GM and the owner, because honestly, it was a 2-man fuck up. And the worst fuck up is that this guy's still there. The second they won the division, I would have fired his ass. The second the Eagles won the division, I wouldn't have waited for that. I'd fire his ass.
I mean, the second he
Like-
ran for 200 against you.
Yeah, the second he bent you guys over the first time, I would have fired his ass.
Actually,
In a stunning move.
he might not have
Wink,
ran for
wink.
200 because Sirianni said, hey, do you want to go for your record? And he said, nah, I'm good.
Which tells you what kind of guy he is.
No, Saquon's great.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that your sister is the one that pushed you over the edge here.
She did a little
She
bit.
did. A lot.
She did.
A lot. Because honestly, and what's her name again?
Melanie.
Melanie, really. If you ever see this, What the tits?
She'll never see.
You're texting Casey, who doesn't know up from down about football.
Exactly. Exactly.
Where is the? Are you afraid to text your brother because you know he'll blast you for it? I mean,
I'm trying to find some more shit.
I mean, that's terrible. That's something my brothers do to me.
Right.
When Tom Brady left, that's what my two dickhead brothers did to me. And I'm like, he's 12-3 against the Steelers, including 2 titles on your field. And he was 7-0 against the Cowboys. In fact, the Patriots had never beaten the Cowboys until Brady was shot. They beat him 7 times in a row. I'm like, do you see what this looks like from you two? It's like uncle. You're saying uncle. Thank God. Thank God he's gone. Because he owned you. He owned the 2 of the most storied franchises. He wiped his ass with both of you. We didn't call them terrible towels. We call them Tom's Tushy Wipes. Okay? And Captain America, Tom Brady, as your boy called him there. What's his name? Mr. What's his name? He played to win the game. Herman Edwards. Call him Captain America. The Patriots became America's team because of him. Not the Cowboys, they're America's joke. and after what they just did last week, they're still America's joke.
America's joke.
America's joke. America's punchline. That's the Dallas Cowboys. They're a fucking joke. America's team. Shut the fuck up. Erica's saying that crap. Like, your team hasn't mattered in 30 years. No one gives a fuck. If the cheerleader, if you didn't
Eric was very much on his high horse.
He really was. I'm like, are you kidding me? If it wasn't for the fucking cheerleaders, no one would even know who you are. And Jerry has to do his own podcast. Jerry has to do everything to keep you guys relevant because you suck so bad. That's the only reason America knows who the Cowboys are, because your owner is a donkey. Okay? He's a fucking donkey. That's why you're America's joke. Because the only reason you're relevant is because your owner tries to be relevant and everyone laughs at him. Everyone laughs at him, Eric. Laughing. Laughing. In fact, the Patriots are closer to success right now because of who they've hired than what you just did. Okay? So that's America's team. Fuck you with that. You haven't mattered in 30 years. Okay? And that's your owner's fault. Your owner ain't dying because pricks live forever. So you got at least another decade of this bullshit, which is great for me. Okay? So, and everybody else who hates the Cowboys, because they're, you know what? By the way, you know why people hate them? It's not because it's because this donkey doesn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you talking? You're the reason your team has sucked for 30 years. Why are you talking? Like, that's why people, it's not like everybody has an opinion about the Cowboys. Because your owner never shuts the fuck up. That's the reason anybody has an opinion about the Cowboys. They're a fucking dumbass owner. He builds this cathedral of a stadium. He keeps hiring these donkeys as head coaches. He wouldn't dare bring in a real one because a real one wouldn't have anything to do with him anyway. And then he does a podcast. What other owner does this?
Look, so this is one that Melanie sent to our group chat.
Oh, that's bad.
So this is the owner, John Mara, when he said,
God.
"I'm not going to sleep well if Saquon goes to the Super Bowl."
Oh, Lord. Wow. That's like something my brother.
And that's when, so Casey.
See, if I didn't,
Casey started saying Mahomes is going to three-peat.
if I didn't want Casey, if I didn't want the Patriots to them not to catch the Patriots, I'd probably vote for them based on that, because that's bullshit. I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's bullshit. That's just uncalled for. That's terrible.
Now, her former husband is the prick that used to send me all the shit about. Remember when you'd be like, "Why haven't you blocked him?"
Yeah.
So her ex-husband is that guy.
So she just
That's where she gets
picked
it
up
from.
the reins.
Yeah.
Didn't you divorce him? Maybe because he was a dick. I mean, no need to relive a non.
Well, so it's funny because last year, 2 years ago, sorry, when the Eagles were playing KC, the day of the Super Bowl, he texted me that morning and said, "Man, it feels good to have a team in the Super Bowl."
What an asshole.
And then what do you think I did? As soon as the Eagles lost that night.
I said, man, it feels good to not lose the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
At least when my team gets there, they win.
Exactly. But that's the weird thing is like when my team's in the Super Bowl, I'm not thinking about Phillies fans. I'm focused on my team in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I never. And by the way, my brothers will both admit this. The Patriots went to 9 Super Bowls in 18 years. Think about that, okay? I never once
texted them day of to say that.
I never rubbed it in their face. Even though my entire childhood when the Pats sucked, they always rubbed it in me.
See, it's tough to believe that, just because only because you are very demonstrative and vocal when speaking about the Patriots and Tom Brady.
The only time I ever got really defensive on them was when the Spygate thing came out, and Belichick sent them. No one talks about this. He sent the memo explaining why he wouldn't stop doing it. And by the way, when he explains it, if you've ever coached before, it's 100% accurate. Why would I get signals from here? I can't see it's useless. That's why I'm going to do it from there. And he's 100% right. And that's what the whole thing was about, and everybody in the league was doing it. By the way, the Steelers got caught for doing it to the Giants. They threw it out because both teams sucked, so no one cared. But the Giants complained about the Steelers doing it to them, and nobody batted an eye at it. The Steelers didn't lose $1 million and get forfeited draft pick.
No, dude. And
it's bullshit. It's total bullshit.
Even though I hated the Patriots during their reign, I never bought into the whole cheating scandal.
They kept winning.
But also, look at all the Super Bowls. Look at how close the Super Bowls were.
Yeah, and they didn't win every year.
Right. It's not like they were shitting on people in every Super Bowl. Everything was a one-score game. Mm-hmm. Should have lost the Atlanta Super Bowl. I guess that was after all the scandals, though.
That was the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, and the Super Bowls that they lost, they could have easily won. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, so
a couple they won, they could have easily lost.
Yeah, but the thing is, the ones that they won like that. First of all, people forget about the catch that happened.
I know, but that
catch shouldn't.
But that's what I'm saying. They easily could have lost that.
To me, that's justice. That catch was garbage. But that was one of those wipe it. That's bullshit.
They easily could have lost that game.
To me, that was justice because the catch shouldn't have been made. What the fuck? Bounces off his knee, bounces off his elbow, bounces off. Dude, give me a fucking break.
But that's what happens in some of these games.
I'm saying, to me, that evened out.
They easily could have lost that game.
That he picked off the play. And by the way, they showed the practice play where he was running. They couldn't get it right in practice. They knew it was coming.
What?
That play call, Malcolm Butler, they show the video of the tape.
Yeah, I know.
And he couldn't get underneath and they were telling Browner, who, by the way, came over from Seattle, you have to jam the slot receiver or he can't get, and he finally got it right. It was a great defense. It was execution on defense. That's a touchdown 9 times out of 10. Everybody forgets that. So
they could have lost that game.
Yeah, but they didn't. They executed.
I understand, but
and the tape proves
if you're going to say they could have won the games, they didn't. They also could have lost some of the games.
Benching Malcolm Butler,
atrocious.
And Brady threw for 505 yards in that game, and they lost.
Atrocious.
And people blame Brady for that. Are you fucking nuts?
Nobody with a half a brain does.
Well, I deal with a lot of people that don't have half a brain.
Quarter?
My 2 brothers.
Third or a quarter?
Maybe a third. But the thing is,
just does that.
The thing is, Pete has nothing else to do. His team is a joke, and he knows the Pats have replaced them. Okay, that's why he keeps saying it. The blame when the Patriots signed Mike Vrabel, everybody went. Trust me, they did, and they are.
They proved themselves.
He was the top coaching candidate on the market. Okay, they got him. Josh McDaniels was the top, other than the guy from Detroit. It was him and him for the top 2 quarters. They got him. They've got 9 picks. They've got 100. Everybody right now is going with the Patriots because you saw what Washington did in 1 year.
We'll see.
I'm not saying they're going to be in the AFC title game next year, but the Patriots are not going to be down for very long. Vrabel is a proven winner. If he could take Ryan Tannehill, that piece of trash to the AFC. Ryan Tannehill is a joke. Okay, go look at his tapes. He's a fucking joke. If he could take him to the AFC title game, what can he do with this kid? Okay, so
well, he also had Derrick Henry.
The Patriots have 9 picks, 4 in the top 100.
Well, if they find Derrick Henry, call me.
I don't think they need Derrick Henry.
Well, Ryan Tannehill did.
Yeah. Drake May doesn't need him.
May?
Drake May has more talent in his pinky than this fucking donkey has in his
Tannehill's not that bad.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is that bad. Yes, he really is. Okay? Because he had 2 alpha dogs and he found a way to fuck it up. Remember the game he threw 3 picks against the Colts? With those 2 guys on the field? You know what he had Henry and yes, he had them both. How do you... God. Do you know what kind of a donkey you have to be to have 2 alpha dogs like that on your team? Okay, one's in the Super Bowl, one was in and you throw 3 picks against the Colts? Whew. Do you know what kind of a donkey you are?
That's a tough pill. Tough pill.
Tough pill. Anyway,
All right, it's fucking
that's our
midnight.
show for
Jesus
tonight.
Christ.
I'll be back tomorrow night with Law Dog. We'll get his 3 takes on this. He'll return Friday, probably Saturday night. We will do the Super Bowl preview. We will get down and dirty. We will pick our MVPs of the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yep, I'm going to pick an MVP.
Don't
say it now.
Going with Taylor Swift.
Well, she can buy the officials. Deep pockets.
Did you
Somebody's
see
going
her
to pay
last
for
night on the Grammys?
No, but she looked good, I heard. I didn't say I wouldn't bang her.
Oh, dear God.
I didn't say I wouldn't throw it in her. I mean, yeah. It'd be an angry one, too. Angry.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd be willing for you.
Have you seen that beastly Travis Kelce? He's a freaking woolly mammoth.
Travis Kelce.
By the way,
is an
have you
all-time
seen?
great
I gotta
tight end.
tell you. Have you seen his brother's Campbell Soup commercial?
No.
You have.
I'm done with Jason Kelsey.
But the commercial though is
the pandering to the Eagles all year.
But the commercial,
Bringing Jason Kelsey onto these sports shows, awful.
he's a Hall of Fame lineman.
But he's terrible.
Why is he terrible?
He's up there just like blowing the Eagles the whole time.
Blowing?
Oh man, I love my Lotta.
What's he supposed to say? He hates him?
No, it's just I don't need an Eagles fan on every goddamn broadcast.
Well,
That's all he is.
I don't need Taylor Swift on every.
I like
show.
Jason Kelsey when him and his brother are doing their podcast. That's a great lane for them. Him on ESPN trying to be serious and break down.
If you see the commercial, to your point, that holds water.
It's funny?
It's hysterical.
Yeah. They're great together.
You will sit there.
And I don't hate Jason Kelsey.
No, I'm saying you would
he's
look at that commercial
through and through, and it's annoying.
But you would see that commercial and you'd piss yourself laughing.
It's
The way he does it, it's great.
it's Scott Van Felt to Penn.
Yeah. Hey, it's SVP.
No. We discussed the status you must be to be referred to by three initials.
Yeah, JFK. He's not there.
RFK. And not this new RFK.
No, not that donkey.
That fucking idiot. MLK.
Dude, is it just me, real quick? Do you really, America, even you idiot Trumplicans, this guy snorted heroin for 14 years. You want him in charge of the health department? You can't be that dumb. You can be.
While they scream about DEI hires and unqualified people.
This cabinet looks like a white-collar prison poker game. It's like, that's what it is.
Hey, we need a Secretary of State. I hear there's a good Fox News host for that.
Oh, by the way,
My God.
you double standard guys, the people out there.
Only the best and the brightest.
Yeah. Well, here's the best. Here, talk about this one. Interesting how nobody is talking about how Pete Hesgeth slept his way to the top. His third wife was his boss. He cheated on his second wife with this woman, but she was also his boss. Think about what I just said to you. This guy literally slept his way to the top.
Right. But no, they said Kamala slept her way to the top.
Interesting. I know. Interesting that I have not heard a single person talking about how he slept his way to the top. It's almost as if the narrative is used only to shame women, even if it's not true, to maintain the male dominance, especially in higher levels of authority. By the way, that's true.
Well, Tim Kaine, Virginia congressperson, he tore him up on his. He was like, "Did you cheat on your wife? You cheated on your wife? You lied to your wife? And we're supposed to think that you're not going to lie about this?"
You could lie to
your
your
wife. He was just
wife.
like, I'm a dumbass. I'm a fucking idiot.
If you elect me, I won't ever tell a lie again.
Yeah, shut the
I'll
hell
stop
up.
drinking. What? No. But he's in. Did you hear how it is?
Yeah,
so anyway,
JD dumb.
I will see you tomorrow night with Law Dog. He will return Saturday night for Anthony's 11th birthday. By the way,
What time is that party?
It's at like 6 o'clock.
At a fucking Sergio.
Surge.
I know.
Sergio. Surge. It'll be fun.
No, I like that place.
That'd be a
I just
fun
hate
night.
driving.
That'd be a fun. I know I hate driving there too. But
I think we had John's there too.
It'll be a fun night. So anyway, until then, you guys get it done. I'll see you in about 24 hours. Until then, they're doubtable not question one. Boys and girls.
Dude, Amen Thompson. Dear God, this
Amen
motherfucker can
Thompson.
jump.
Thompson. There's a name.